Welcome to the first mythological storytelling episode. I know nobody is here, but this is for the recording. So cheers. Part 1. Rabbit Boy kicked that blood clot around. Creation myths deal with how the physical world as we know it and how it features in parts 2 and 3 will deal with the first theme. The stories were here grapple with how and when did gods and humans, when did Indians get certain important daily through corn, animals like the buffalo or horse, religious artifacts and ceremonies. Why are men and women different, and when did the separation take place? Where did the races come from? How did evil enter the world? What is death, and how does it move in and out of life? These legends of human creation and the bringing of culture reflect in myriad ways a common belief that people are living part of a natural world. Brother and sister to the grain and the trees, the buffalo and the bear. Some Great Lakes tribes recount how they were originally made by the sun, or with the Ojibwe, great mystery. According to numerous others, the first woman was impregnated by, in the southwest, a sunbeam, in the northwest, a salmon, or as the Iroquois say, by the west wind, giving birth to two heroes who perform famous deeds. The creation myth of the Great Lakes Algonquins focuses on the wandering of the god Glooskap, who tames the winds, obtains food and water for the people, and fashions various features of the landscape. He eventually goes off to the west to live in another world, where he makes arrows in preparation for the battle of the last day. The first human child is often endowed with supernatural powers. It outshines and outwits adults, grows up overnight, or performs great magic like a full-fledged medicine man. His mischief does good, too. Disregarding his parents, he wanders away from the camp, perhaps meets and slays a monster or two, receives a token of magic or power, and often encounters an old woman, perhaps his nurse, who puts an ogre in his path to rid herself of his powerful presence. The results of these adventures are significant watermarks in the creation of a culture. Before Stone Boy was born, Sioux had no sacred ceremonies or prayers to guide them. Their spiritual development began when a pile of rocks instructed Stone Boy to build a sweat lodge for purification, for life, for Wishani, health. On the other hand, the Brule Sioux says it was an old woman who was chosen to show her people the way to Grandfather Peyote. Another heroine, White Buffalo Woman, was a spirit who took the form of a beautiful maiden in shining white buckskin. She gave the tribes great herds of buffalo and taught them how to worship, how to marry, and how to cook. Her task completed, she walked away, stopped and rolled over, turned into a black buffalo, a brown one, a red one, and finally the sacred white buffalo calf. Other cultural heroines, including Changing Woman of the Navajo, Turquoise Woman, White Shell Woman, and the Cheyenne's little sister, who calls the buffalo and feeds the people. The attributes of these heroines are often associated with fertility, conception, pregnancy, and birth. Corn maidens bring all nourishing maize and the knowledge of planting. They also invent pottery and basketry, as their association with seeds and grain is also with containers and storage. Women are often in charge of the flint which sparks the first cooking fire. The origins of Grand Medicine Lodge is a prominent part of the creation myth of the Great Lakes region, which features, like many others, a central set of twins, children of the west wind, when other wolf brother is drowned by evil Manitus as he crosses an icy lake. He is brought back to life by the lamentations of Manabozho, White Rabbit, which become the foundation of the lodge. This particular myth has an important characteristic in common with creation stories from further west. The cultural hero or heroes is at the same time a trickster and a fool. He may breathe life into humans and be responsible for giving them important features of their daily life, but he may also have the lustful or thieving urges that give him his life. All living things, one Sioux elder says, are tied together with a common navel cord. The tall mountains and streams, the corn and the grazing buffalo, the bravest hero and the deceitful coyote. Rabbit Boy. This is a story of Rabbit Boy. In some tribes it is called the story of Blood Clot Man. As you know, Jenny Leading Cloud said, we Indians think of the earth as the whole universe, as a never-ending circle, and in this circle man is just another animal. The buffalo and the coyote are our brothers, the birds our cousins, even the tiniest ant, even a louse, even the smallest flower you can find, they are all relatives. We end our prayers with the words, Metakuya Oyasin, all my relations. And that includes everything that grows, crawls, runs, creeps, hops, and flies on this continent. White people see man as nature's master and conqueror, but Indians, who are close to nature, know better. In the old days of before Columbus discovered us, as they say, we were even closer to the animals than we now know. Many people could understand the animal languages. They could talk to a bird, gossip with a butterfly. Animals could change themselves into people and people into animals. It was a time when the earth was not quite finished, when mankind's of mountains and streams, many kinds of mountains and streams, animals and plants came into being according to nature's plan. In these far gone days, hidden from us as it in a mist, there lived a rabbit, a very lively, playful, good-hearted rabbit. One day this rabbit was walking, enjoying himself, when he came across a clot of blood. How it got there nobody knows. It looked like a blister, a little bladder full of red liquid. When the playful rabbit began toying with that clot of blood, kicking it around as if it were a tiny ball, now we Indians believe in Takusganskan, the mysterious power of motion. We Indians believe in Takasukana, the mysterious power of motion. Its spirit is in anything that moves. It animates things and makes them come alive. Well, the rabbit got into this strange moving power without even knowing it, and the motion of being kicked around, or rather the spirit of the motion, and I hope you can grasp what I mean by that, began to work on the little blob of blood so that it took shape, forming a little gut. The rabbit kicked it some more, and the blob began to grow tiny hands and arms. Rabbit kept nudging it, and suddenly it had eyes and a beating heart. In this way, the rabbit, with the help of the mysterious moving power, formed a human being, a little boy. The rabbit called him Weota Wishasha, Much Blood Boy, but he is better known as Rabbit Boy. The rabbit took him to his wife, and both of them loved this strange little boy as if he were their only son. They dressed him up in a beautiful buckskin shirt, which they painted with the sacred red color and decorated with designs made of porcupine quills. Blood grew up the, the boy grew up happily among the rabbits. When he was almost a man, the old rabbit took him aside and said, "Son, I must tell you that you are not what you think you are. A rabbit like me, you are a human. We love you and we hate to let you go, but you must leave and find your own people." Rabbit Boy started walking until he came to a village of human beings, where he saw boys who looked like himself. He went into the village, and the people could not help stare at the strange boy in his beautiful buckskin clothes. "Where are you from?" they asked. "I am from another village," said Rabbit Boy, though this was not true. There was no other village in the world, for as I told you, the earth was still in its beginning. In the village was a beautiful girl who fell in love with Rabbit Boy, not only for the fine clothes, but also for his good looks and kind heart. Her people, too, wanted him to marry into the village, wanted a man with his great mysterious power to live among them. A Rabbit Boy had a vision. In it he was wrestling with the sun, racing the sun, playing hand games with the sun, and always winning. But Iketo, the wicked Spider-Man, the mean trickster, prankster, and witch doctor, wanted that beautiful girl for himself. He began to say bad things about Rabbit Boy. "Look at him," Iketomas said, "showing off his buckskin outfit to us, who are too poor to have such fine things." And to the men who also said, "How come you're letting him marry a girl from your village?" He also told them, "In case you wanted me to, I have a magic hoop to throw over that Rabbit Boy. It will make him helpless." Several boys said, "Ikitome is right." They were jealous of Rabbit Boy on account of his strange power, his wisdom, and generosity. They began to fight him, and Spider threw over him. Though it had no effect on Rabbit Boy, he pretended to be helpless to amuse himself. The village boys and young men tied Rabbit Boy to a tree with rawhide thongs. All the time, the evil Spider-Man was encouraging them, "Let's take our butchering knives and cut him up." "Friends, Kolapila," said Rabbit Boy, "if you're going to kill me, let me sing my death song first." He sang, "Friends, friends, I have fought the sun. He tried to burn me up, but he could not do it. Even battling the sun, I held my own." After the death song, villagers killed Rabbit Boy and cut him up into chunks of meat, which they put into a soup pot. But Rabbit Boy was not hurt easily. A storm arose, and a great cloud hid the face of the sun, turning everything black night. When the cloud was gone, the chunks of meat had disappeared without a trace, but those who had watched closely had seen the chunks forming up again into a body, and seen him going up to heaven on a beam of sunlight. A wise old medicine man said, "This Rabbit Boy really has powerful medicine. He has gone up to see the sun. Soon he will come back stronger than before, like fucking Superman. Nah, because up there he will be given the sun's power. Let's marry him to that girl of ours, because if not, Superman is gonna fucking kill us." Yeah, be careful. This content is not okay for anybody. But the jealous spider, Ikitome, said, "Why bother about him? Look, at me. I am much more powerful than Rabbit Boy. Here, tie me up too. Cut me up. Be quick. Ikitomi thought he remembered Rabbit Boy's song. He thought there was power in it, magic strength, but Ikitomi did not remember the right words. He sang, "Friends, friends, I have fought the moon." He had tried to fight, but I won. Even battling the moon, I came out on top. They cut Ikitomi up, and as he told them, but he never came to life again. The spider had finally outsmarted himself. Evil tricksters always do. Todd by Jenny leading Cloud in White River Rosebud. Told by Jenny leading Cloud and White River Rosebud, Indian Reservation, South Dakota, 1967, and recorded by Richard Eardos. This next one. Alright, we'll do this next one. Blood Clot. No.